And good afternoon. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stan Salter along with Keith Fustel. A big Friday. We'll get to all that, but beautiful weather yesterday. We debuted our world-class turf course yesterday. Three big races on the turf yesterday. All three races resulting in big handles for those races. The three biggest handles of the day were the three turf races yesterday. We had the 2-year-olds debut, the maiden 2-year-old fillies in the first yesterday. We have the maiden 2-year-old boys in the opener today. Anthony Ferrier, he won the first 2-year-old race yesterday. That filly, she broke sharp and she was gone.
She was gone. Opened up about 4 or 5 early. A little breather around the turn and kicked back away with something left. Twirling Owen, a West Virginia bred, in 51-1, whistled around the racetrack. So yeah, maybe some offers, people get antsy. Boy, they see something like that, they want to reach in and grab it. But Twirling Owen looks to have a bright future ahead of her.
All right, so that was the maiden special weight 2-year-old fillies yesterday. We have the maiden special weight 2-year-old boys in the opener today. A bunch of big fields on the turf course today. We're on the All Along the Dahlia turf course today, and it's Stronach 5 Day. It kicks off once again here at Laurel Park. Race 9, the Stronach 5 with that guaranteed $100,000 pool. Now, they bet almost $200,000 into it last week. The Stronach 5, just like both pick 5s here at Laurel Park, with that industry low 12% takeout. Let's check out the sequence of races. It paid over $2,200 last week. The Stronach 5 does, and there's did last Friday, and there's the lineup today. Starts right here, Laurel Park, race 9, about 5:09 Eastern time, and then Gulfstream Park, race 9, then Gulfstream, race 10, then out to California for a couple, Lake D, Golden Gate Fields, race 5, then we wrap it up, Santa Anita Park, race 5. I have a $72 ticket figured out for the Stronach 5. We'll go over that when we get to race 9. You can study it on the website, the laurelpark.com website. Underneath the handicapping section has all of our tickets and picks for the day. So another challenging sequence in that Stronach 5, and we'll kick it off right here. Race 9, a big field, maiden 25, filly and mare is going a mile on the turf.
And we're going to have to wait a little bit. We know we've got some weather coming in around 2 o'clock, so maybe wait just a little bit before you dive right in. You might have to make some late-minute adjustments starting here with race 9.
All right, so the Stronach 5, that's going to be one of the big highlights. Also, the Rainbow Pick 6 getting up there. It starts in race 4 today. There's the carryover, $20,664 for that 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. Tim Tulloch, my co-host, in the afternoon, he has a ticket for it. We'll check that out when we get to race 4. So a big day today, big day yesterday, and it all leads up to a big day tomorrow, our Spring Stakes Spectacular, another super Saturday here at Laurel Park. 7 stake races worth over $750,000 in purses. We also feature the premiere of the 2019 Match Series, and what a lineup of races we have tomorrow. Nice job by the racing office putting together a big card for tomorrow. Nice giveaway, the Maryland Jockey Club. Sure. Okay, the Maryland Jockey Club tote bag giveaway. Now, due to shipping delays, we'll give out rain checks. Rain checks will be given to all program purchasers while supplies last. So, some shipping delays for the tote bag. Good-looking tote bag. You'll get a rain check, and you'll get that tote bag if you come out here tomorrow and buy a program. Now, the racing is going to be stellar. The stakes action starts in race 5 tomorrow. It's the first of 7 consecutive stake races. Race 5 kicks off a pick 3. That's the Frank Whiteley. That'll feature Lakai, Lewis Field, Rockin' On By in there, 3 Maryland breds. And then the pick 6 will start race 6. It's named after the Hall of Famer King T. Leatherberry, and fittingly so. It's a turf sprint for $100,000. That was Ben's Cat specialty. So the Leatherberry going 5.5 on the turf. That'll kick off the pick 6. And then you have the Premonetta, race 7, the Dahlia, race 8, the Weber City Miss, race 9. That's a win, and you're in for the Black-Eyed Susan. And then probably the big feature of the day, the Express Bet, Federico Tessio. That's race 10. That's a win, and you're in for the Preakness, Always Mining, the heavy favorite in there, Maryland bred, Las Cetas, the heavy favorite in the Weber City Miss. So two Maryland breds might be going to the Black-Eyed Susan and the Preakness. And then you see Flash Phelps and Talk Show Man to wrap it up, race 11 in the Henry Clark. So Great job by the racing office. I know you had to put in some extra hours making the line on all these races. A bunch of big fields, 7 consecutive stakes races. Tomorrow starts in race 5.
I use the old phone a friend option on days like that. Call comes some of my old buddies. Carulli, he was busy. Call my man Vinny. We just bounced a couple races off of him. Good to have guys. It just give you that extra little look and make sure you're kind of in range on those lines. Very difficult field, highly competitive, good betting opportunities on tomorrow's racing card.
Sure, absolutely. All right, so that's tomorrow. Let's get right to it today. Let's show you a picture of both racing surfaces. Now, it's beautiful right now. Main track is fast. Turf is firm. Turf was perfect yesterday. We had perfect weather yesterday. Weather today, 75. Fast and firm now. And this is a little tricky. You kind of have to read the weather a little bit. You're playing those multi-race wagers like that pick 6 with the big carryover and the Stronach 5. That's race 9. That starts on the turf. So hopefully we'll get the card in before the rain. Do we have that board?
That board,
guys,
that's exactly what you read my mind. That board about the pick 6.
Okay, yeah, it's coming up. We have a change, a rule change for the Rainbow Pick 6 if races come off the turf once the pick 6 has started. So there it is. Turf to main track rule change. All right, turf to main track rule change for the Rainbow Pick 6 jackpot. I'll read exactly how it is there on the screen. If one or more of the races comprising the Rainbow Pick 6 is moved from the turf to the main track after the close of wagering for the Rainbow Pick 6, each selection on a Rainbow Pick 6 ticket for that race shall be considered a winning selection. So there's the rule change for turf to main track for the Rainbow Pick 6.
I need that for all my races. Give them all to me. But, definitely adhere to that. Make sure you pay attention to that. I'm sure we'll be running that a few times throughout the day.
Okay, let's get right to it here. We had the maiden 2-year-old fillies yesterday to kick it off. Today, the maiden 2-year-old boys in race 1 will start the popular rolling Super High 5. That's a low 15% takeout for the Super High 5. No carryover in the opener, but we have it every race with 7 or more interest, so keep your eye on that throughout the day. Also, race 1 kicks off the popular early pick 5, which is a mandatory payout, industry low, 12% takeout. I have a $54 ticket for the early pick 5. Let's see if we can hit the early pick 5 and pad up our bankroll for that Stronach 5 starting race 9. Here's my early pick 5. Race 1's wide open. Bunch of, it's all first-time starters. 2-year-old fillies going 4.5 in the opener. I go 1, 3, 8, 9. And some decent prices here. But don't count out the elder Salzman. John Salzman Jr. with the 8 gone home here in the opener. That's my price play of the day. Alex Centrine will ride this colt by despite the odds. Gets a good outside post. So I go 1, 3, 8, 9 here in the opener. Race 2 going a mile and a 16th on the all-along turf course. I go 1, 2, 4 in there. Nice nickel starter allowance. Filly Mare is going a mile. Race 3, I single on my best bet of the day, the 5 hashtag selfie, 7 to 5 for our leading trainer, Claudio Gonzalez. Claudio, he's not the leading trainer right now of the spring meet. It was the leading trainer for the winter meet. He started off the spring meet a little cold. They're running well. They're finishing 2nd and 3rd, but only 1 for 23 at the meet so far, Claudio. But I think he picks it up here with the 5 hashtag selfie in race 3. And then 5.5 on the Dahlia turf course in race 4. I go with the 1, 3, 5. And then we wrap it up. Race 5, nice maiden, special weight, 3 and up. Mile and a 16th on the all-along turf course. I go 3 deep there with the 5, 8, 9. Michael Dickinson with a first-time starter in there at 6 to 1. The 8 perfect Spidey by Speightstown out of a perfect soul mare. Could be ready to roll for the Mad Genius. So nice maiden special weight to anchor this early pick 5.
Yeah, when we've got these early 2-year-old races, and when making a line, the race yesterday, the race today, they're very difficult. Tab the total lot, and money showed yesterday, and kind of hopefully swayed you towards Twirling Owen. And looking at this race, not a you've got some newer stallions along, not a ton of stats that just kind of jump out at you. So bear with us on some of these lines, on these early lines with the Zeros, because some of the trainers here, they haven't been actually lighting it up the last couple of years of late as well with the first timers. So hopefully, take a look at the board. It can give you a little bit of an angle. I know it's very early. The 9 who have it 10-1 is getting play. Is getting plenty of play. Jerry Robb, a horse, made a move and just kind of flattened out a little bit yesterday. The Imaginings, is this just the first group of two?
Yeah,
it'd be interesting. He was a turf long on the grass. Interesting to see how they will go moving forward on the dirt.
Yeah, I say just go with your instincts.
Yeah.
Handicap off the overnight. Pick the trainers and jockeys. That's what I do here for these 2-year-old races. And I go with the elder Salzman trainer, John Salzman Sr. He's been the master around here for how long? 20, 30 years with these 2-year-olds. He teams up with his main owner, Kenny Taylor. These are the same connections of Extra Heat, who they bought for $5,000, made over $2.5 million with her. This colt's by despite the odds. They can win early out of a Partners Hero mare bred by R. Larry Johnson and Legacy Farm, and some decent works, one decent half-mile work, and then a decent work from the gate, 3 furlongs from the gate, 37 flat. That was just, 6 days ago. So this colt should be sharp from the gate, gets a good outside post, gets a good rider with Alex Centron, and he's trained by one of the masters with these 2-year-olds, John Salzman. I was lucky enough to work for him one year, galloping horses. The year Extra Heat was a 3-year-old and won the Eclipse. Never got on Extra Heat, but I was in the same barn with her, and that was cool enough. So I'll go with Salzman here with the 8 gone home. You like him a little bit as well.
Absolutely. I think he's a user, especially when you look at the family. Has a debut winner in the family, Fenton's 4. You remember that one winning recently. I think it might have been last year. A half to Sir Rockport. So, the family is there. Some runners along the way. Gets a good position to the outside. Should break cleanly and just try to go on with it. Lasix on with Centron today. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to come right back. I'm going to cheat. What was the exact yesterday? Farrier over O'Dwyer, right?
Yep.
Why can't it happen again?
Sure.
Malibu Moonstruck going back and reading the release about yesterday's victory. Farrier talking about how Malibu Moonstruck working along with the filly. Didn't know if he was quite as good as Twirling Owen, but maybe he has to be about 90% to win this. So Bodie Meister's about 10-11% first time out. Tony's had some good luck of late the last couple years, 14% with the 2-year-old firsters. Also looking at the 5 rookie Salsa, half to Olive Cat, a runner that O'Dwyer trained. I believe it might have been last year as well.
Right.
Ran well early and also has recently been running well in Allowance Company. So by 2 steps Salsa, 15% he hits with his first-time starters. The mare was a 7-time winner, made upwards of $250,000. That's good enough for me. 1-5-8-2. But once again, tab that tote board. Might give you a little help in today's opener.
And I use the other in my exact. I use the other Salzman, John Salzman Jr. with the 3 Cold Sweat by Bodie Meister. Some decent works. Joan Rosado will ride. Rosado and Salzman Jr., they're 3 for 7 recently. Decent stats here for Rosado and Salzman Jr. So I use the 3 Cold Sweat in my exact.
And I use the other one, the 2, half the Fleet Gold Digger. Runner we've seen run around here, made a lot of money, over $200,000. The mare, 2 winning 2-year-old foals. And how about Super 99? New, but he's 25% out of that first crop. That's strong with the 2-year-old firsters.
I believe this is his second
yep.
second crop.
Real good year last year. Yep.
And you mentioned the stallion Imagining. He's a new stallion here in Maryland. I believe Lewis Merriman has him up there at his farm now, Anchor and Hope. And he was a monster on the turf for Shug McGay. He no surprise that Bowman and Higgins bred to Imagining with a Not for Love mare. Bowman's and Higgins been some of the top breeders around here for a long time. So I think Imagining. I think he'll do just well. I think he'll do just fine around here on the dirt and the turf. I'm excited to see some of these Imaginings, especially on the turf, and especially leading up to Maryland Million time.
Okay.
So I use Jerry Robb in my top 3 there. So a nice group, a maiden special weight 2-year-old boys in the opener to kick off that early pick 5. Let's turn the page. You like the early pick 4. That starts in race 2. We're going a mile and a 16th on the all-along turf course, no rail setting. Here's your early pick 4 ticket.
Try to get something in before the rains come, Stan. 2, 3, 4, 6 to get you started. Horse to beat, I definitely believe is the 4 Tricked Up. Fairly recent start, dropping a little bit for Rudy Rod. Third race, we're going to single. Going to be a hot single there. Hashtag selfie in race 3. Class relief for Claudio. A little cool, trying to heat things back up. 4th race, 3, 5, and 8. A kosher contract out of a mare that did quite well. Interesting that they'll claim this horse I'm going to use because of that. We're getting McCarthy, who we had run at a big price stand yesterday. And the 5th race, the 5 and the 6 score when he wants, and the North remembers. There you go, $12 ticket. We've hit a couple of these of recent note. I haven't knocked it out of the park price-wise, but enough to kind of keep us going throughout the day. And that's what we want to churn that money.
The game. It says stay alive. The longer you stay alive and break even, the better shot you have of being in the game and making a big score.
Yep.
So let's check out the second race. Claiming 25,000, 3 and up, going 2 turns on the all along. And I go with Trevor McCarthy here on the 1, Roman Approval. Second off the claim here for Anthony Ferrier. McCarthy will get a ground-saving trip on this 8-year-old veteran by Roman ruler. He's made a bunch of money, over $700,000, $600,000 of that on the turf. He's a 6-time winner on the turf. He's a perfect 1-for-1 here on the Laurel grass. So his recent form, not too pretty, but I think he gets back to his best surface today. Farrier attracts McCarthy, and they should get a ground-saving trip here. So I go with the 8-year-old Roman Approval on top.
I didn't know what to make of him. Speed from the inside. The dirt doesn't look like he wants to do a whole lot with it of late.
Right.
Looked like he could just go ahead and drop him or run him back for one of those lower claimers on the grass. But he decides to protect, move 25 with Trevor. Interesting. I think that this move back up is going to help the price a little bit of the 1 Roman Approval. I go with the 4 Tricked Up. There is some speed in this race. Birdie's Honor, no more talk. I think that's Melody was right, likes to be fairly close, but Tricked Up shows the ability to race his back. I know it's back in October to close and run down a pretty good horse in Giant Run. Giant Run has come back and run recently. I think at Gulfstream ran like an 88 for 50. Aggressive move here, but I think it's the right move for Tricked Up to go ahead and stalk and pounce in this field.
Yeah, coming off the layoff for Rudy Rodriguez, he attracts Victor Carrasco, so I like that. I like the 4. We both like the 6 as well here. Prime time man. You have to respect this 6-year-old. He's made over $100,000 on the turf. 2-time winner here on the Laurel turf. Kieran McGee teamed up with a nice. He had a nice win yesterday. He gets Vargas to ride to 6. So yeah, you have to respect prime time man here a bit.
I think he's a finisher. I think that's the key for him. Looking at this race, he's got recent form. He's got the bottom underneath him. You go back to his last turf race, no hind shoes. Be interested to see what happens today. But he's got races in those starter allowances that work for me. I think he's going to bring a good run somewhere from mid-pack.
All right, so we both like the 6. Who's the 2? Dat Melody and Michael Gorham's sneaky. He's
looking
tough.
to wake
He's
back
tough
up.
At a price.
Oh, yeah.
He's tough at a price.
Lays in the weeds at Gorham.
Yep. All right, nice turf route to kick off the early pick 4 here in the second. Let's turn the page here. Race 3, we're going a flat mile. $5,000 starter allowance for filly mares 3 and up, and Claudio's going to be tough here. He might be a little cold starting off the spring, but he has 7 seconds, just a matter of time before they just start winning in bunches. And hashtag selfie catches the right group here. I single on her, so do you on the early pick 4. She's a 7-time winner at Laurel Park and a decent second last out in that stake up there at Aqueduct. This will be her 3rd race back this year. She's sitting on a big one. They take the blinkers off. They tried the blinkers up at Aqueduct and just okay. But Claudio teams up with Carlos Carrasco here. They're oh my God, 35% in a positive ROI. So big stats here for Carlos Carrasco and Claudio.
Yeah, that was my fault there. The horse blinkers on last time. We had him by accident on March the 3rd, and they forced him, I think, to wear them, and she ran just fine. So they come back off. So they dealt with that issue, and she performed up in New York. Horses come out of that race, and it's run well. So I think hashtag selfie. Looking at this race, the flow is going to be comfortable for her. Maybe the one goes from the inside. She'll sit just off of it and should be able to shake clear. This is serious class relief for hashtag selfie. For a price underneath, like a girl. I like the form she's developed right now. She ran down a loose leader, freshened a little bit. I don't think that's going to hurt her chances. She fits well at the mile. 2 wins, a total of 6 of 9 in the money. Like a girl picks up the pieces here in race number 3.
All right, so we both like the same 4 filly mares here in the 3rd with the 5 hashtag selfie on top for Claudio Gonzalez. Let's get a quick break here. We need to save time for the pick 6. Pick 6 starts in race 4. That carryover is over $20,000. The Stronach 5 with that guaranteed $100,000 pool. That starts right here at Laurel Park today in race 9. We'll check it all out right after this. All right, there you go. VIP and Infield Fest tickets still on sale. Also, tickets still on sale for the Turfside Terrace. That's the most popular place to be. You're right there on the inside of the turf course, so you can see the turf race is great. You can see the dirt races just as well, and you can see those Preakness horses saddling right in front of you there on the turf course. All you can eat. All you can drink all day long on the Turfside Terrace. That's where you want to be for Black Eyed Susan and Preakness Day. Go to Preakness.com for all your tickets and information. Turfside Terrace, Infield Fest. Everything can be found at Preakness.com.
Yeah,
right around the corner.
Yeah, it's coming up
Tassio
quick.
Day is.
I got to get my credential. They might not even let me in. Might be a good thing.
Tassio Day is Preakness Preview Day. So that's tomorrow.
Yes,
so we're about 4 weeks away from the Preakness. So let's get right to it. Let's dive into this 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 starting in race 4 today. Nice carryover. There it is. $20,664. Now, we had a couple live singles going into the last race yesterday for a big number. It would have been a nice score for somebody yesterday, but they didn't win. So carry over today, over 20,000. My co-host for the afternoon, Tim Tulloch, has a ticket. Let's check it out, see how he played it. Tulloch gave out a winning late pick 4 either yesterday or last Sunday that paid pretty well. So here's his ticket. He goes with a $64.80 ticket. Race 4 is a 5.5 turf sprint. Yeah, I don't blame him for going 4 deep in this race. He goes with the 3-5-8-11 in race 4. Race 5 is a nice maiden special weight going long on the turf. He goes with the 5-6-9. Race 6, he goes 2-3-5. Race 7, one of our features of the day, a third level allowance, 5.5 on the all along. He goes with the 5-6-8 in race 7. Race 8, nice allowance going a mile. He goes 5-6-8 there. And then there's his single in race 9. This will be a well-played race. We'll have a big handle in race 9. It's the first leg of the Stronach 5. It's a big field going a mile on the Dahlia turf course. Rail setting at 52 feet in race 9. It's a maiden 25,000 filly and mares 3 and up. And he singles on the Mad Genius, the 2. She's Like to Win, trained by Michael Dickinson. Her second race back this year as a 5-year-old. She's run some big races on the turf here at Laurel Park. You get Toledo. So Tulloch singling there on Dickinson with the 2. She's Like to Win in race 9. You got to pick a single somewhere.
Yeah, I like funnel it down and give it a shot.
All right, let's take a look at race 4. First leg of the Rainbow Pick 6. Also first leg of the Middle Pick 4 here in the 4th race. Claiming 16,000, 3 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. 5.5 furlongs on the Dahlia turf course. Rail at 52 feet. A wide open condition here in race 4. We have a video spotlight in this race. Let's go to the video spotlight first and start there. Here's the video on Smokin' Hot Factor from back in August of last year.
Going back last summer. Give me that warmth. Smokin' Hot Factor. Good effort here. Going 6 furlongs. Called about 3 wide off a contested pace. Some long shots up top. Gold Bridal City Gold. Looks like a winner here. Maybe just a touch of a hang, if you would call it. Really looms up large past the 8th pole. 6 furlongs. Maybe just, maybe just a little too far for her to sustain that run. But I think coming back today to 5.5, she's going to be sharp. A distance in which he broke the maiden and got it done that day for the 40,000 back in May. I think Smokin' Hot Factor, the first time in the barn, we saw Sanchez Salomon with some turf runners run big at a price last year. I'll take Smokin' Hot Factor to rate and move into the pace.
Sure. Well, you get Victor Carrasco. You get a nice post on the outside. So this 5-year-old gelding, he should get a good trip. So I like him. I use him in my top 4. Let's see, on my race 4, I just go 1-3-5 in this race on my early pick 5. Let's take a look at my top pick here. The 3, I go with Trevor McCarthy at a price here. The 3, Kosher Contract, 10-1, a 3-year-old son of Louis Couture's a Preakness winner. This will be this guy's for a turf debut today. He's running first off the claim for Dale Capuano. He's 19% recently first off the claim, and I'll just take a shot here. Dale's taking a shot, first-time turf. You get McCarthy, you'll get a decent price. I'll take a shot here with the 3, Kosher Contract. An okay third last out against 16,000. A nice win back in January here at Laurel Park. So a decent effort, 2 back got a big number that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the horse in decent form, in a new barn, top rider, and a good price here on the 3 kosher contract.
And Louis Couture's, he's not super strong. He's only 8-9% with his turf runners. But you go to the bottom side. Katuba was 3 for 14 on the grass, made close to 100,000. About an 83, I think, was the top number. I wanted to go a little bit longer, but you've got McCarthy, right?
Sure.
And you've got a trainer that does well year in and year out on the grass. Carries a positive ROI. So something attracted him to make the move with the owner. So I think at 10-1, 12-1, we've got to use kosher contract. Yes, I like Smoking Hot Factor from Mid-Pack. Benevolent Prince shortening up. Recent form, the bottom has been running well down at Tampa and has run well at the 5.5 furlong distance. Actually did it with trouble back in May at Pimlico, closed into it. And I think the speed, there's plenty of speed in here, but if there's going to be a stare, maybe you can never tell from the rail for Trombetta. The only try on the grass was late in the year, November of 18, on a real boggy, yielding turf course, and that was a good group. That was some solid runners in there, softened up after going through the early pace battle. I think you can never tell. Aggressive move down, goes right to the front in here.
Yep, I like her as well. So we like the same 4 horses in race 4, just a little different order. Let's turn the page. Race 5 will kick off the late pick 5. No carryover today. They hit it for a little over 400, I believe, yesterday. But as always, that industry low 12% takeout means more cash back in your pockets when you hit the pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Race 5, one of our big features of the day, a mile and a 16th on the all-along turf course, rail setting at 0. Nice maiden special weight 3-year-olds and upward in this race. We both go with the 5 here. Let's start with the 5 scores. Winnie once for trainer Arnaud Delacour. Delacour is so tough on the turf. He brings these fit horses up from Tampa, and they're ready to roll. Delacour trains at Fair Hill, and you have a nice stat here.
Yeah, here we go. Arnaud Delacour and Centano hooking up together with these maidens on the grass. The last series at Laurel, about 7 for 19, Stan. 37%, 12 for 19 in the money. With a gaudy ROI over $3. You got to like that. And say, what do you want to win for? 21,000 at Tampa or 40 at Laurel?
Sure.
you know, it's raced into shape. I always wonder that. You take those horses down to Tampa for the smaller pots, but gets the bottom underneath.
Get them fit down there.
Get them fit and let them loose up here. Doesn't have, a ton of speed on the grass, but made a big middle move. I think we're just going to wait a little bit longer and make that run. It'll be more sustainable this afternoon. I like score winning. You should get an okay price on this one. So I think a lot of money's going to come in on the 9 Candy Store who's in here.
Yeah, Candy Store for Graham Motion and Trevor McCarthy. They're going to bet the connections alone. This 3-year-old colt by Twirling Candy. A big second last out to Hoffa's Union, who ran back in the Wood Memorial after that maiden win. Candy Store making his turf debut today. He's run 4 strong races on the main track. Now they try the turf. He has some good works on the Tapeta surface up there at Fair Hill. You're right. A lot of money's going to come in here on the 9 Candy Store.
Yeah, we caught Graham last night, the finale. Good ride by Vargas, was able to kind of knife through between horses to get up at the wire with that shipper, that foreign shipper. So Candy Store, out of Zucchini Flower, didn't win on the grass, but was stakes placed on the grass. Made some money, ran all right. Twirling Candies, they can run on anything. But here's the number here. First turf. Look at that for motion. Only 4% out of a 69-horse sample.
Yeah.
So if he won yesterday, what's the chances he's going to win back? We'll see. But probably a user with Trevor, certainly to make a run into it. I'm going to also go in and throw in the 6. The North remembers Linda Rice has had a lot of success with the horses on the grass in maiden races at Laurel over the last couple years. Reached in a $350,000 purchase that was in for $50,000. Reached in and grabbed him. I think with a better break, he stumbled on that dirt try. I think he's going to try to be aggressive, and if this race does come off, he's going to be tough to beat on the dirt.
All right, now use the 8 Perfect Spidey, a first-time starter trained by Michael Dickinson, of course, trained up there at his private training center, Tapeta Farm up there in Cecil County. He has a Tapeta surface up there. Of course, he invented Tapeta. He has a dirt surface up there. He has a turf course up there. It's one of the nicest training centers in the country. I was able to tour it one day at Tapeta Farm. So the 8's well prepared, has a turf work recently up there at Tapeta. It's a well-bred colt by Spitestown. That's a Major League sire out of a Perfect Soul mare. You get Alex Cinch Entron to ride. He'll be well prepared for the debut, so I use him in the mix.
Yeah, he's 1 for 7 and 4 for 7 in the money is Michael Dickinson with first-timers on the turf the last few years at Laurel. He's brought a couple live horses down here, no doubt. That mare, not any normal Perfect Soul mare. She was a Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf winner back in 2011. She made over $1 million. The only sib to race, it was by More Than Ready, 0 for 3, so not a whole lot to go on. But by Spicetown, man, this horse should be some kind of runner.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nominated to the Triple Crown, a homebred for Charles E. Fipke. So a nice group of maiden special weight turf routers here in race 5. Man, we'll have a nice big monster handle in this race to kick off that pick 5. Let's turn the page here. Okay. Race 6 will kick off the late pick 4. We're on the main track going 6 furlongs, 25,000 starter allowance for filly mares 3 and up. Never won 2 is the condition. I go with the 3 on top here, and initially I kind of overlooked the 3. I believe I had the 5 Wicked Awesome picked on top on my tip sheet I turned in a couple days ago, but I had to reevaluate things and come to my senses, to be honest with you here. So I end up on the not taking anything away from the 5 Wicked Awesome. I like that horse simply for the Claudio factor. Second time Claudio, second off the layoff. Carlos Carrasco, they're 35% together, so you like the 5 as well. But I go with the favorite here, Last Love, a nice claim for Bill Comlo. We have a video here to show you, and this is on the 3, right? Last Love.
On the 2, we're going to go with Toma.
On the 2, Toma,
yeah,
okay.
Toma. And let's watch this. I think they're going to vie for favoritism. I give a slight edge to Toma, and coming out of some good races, the Velocita Bronte race here on the 16th, you're going to pick up Toma the Gray swinging and getting fanned 8 wide. You see this horse turning for home, Firth on the lead. Velocita Bronte, a little bit of an easier trip. Toma, big run, though, all things considered, after getting carried out so wide. Turns on gamely to the wire. Big number there. Pairs up 67s. You see below that, ran against Exhilarating, a horse that's been in pretty good form as well. So I just think she's run against a little bit better. She's got speed to target in here. I know the 1 comes out. I thought she was clearly going to be part of the pace flow. Younger girl scratched the 1, but you've got St. Cherubin. You got Brenda's GLP and Last Love. This 4 first-time Claudio could go a long way in here. This horse had some troubled starts down at Gulfstream going 5/8, 1 at 5/8 on the grass. With a clean break, she might just zip right to the front.
Yeah, the 2 is going to be tough. The 2 Toma, I thought the 2 is going to be your favorite here. The 1 scratch younger girl, so the 2 Toma is going to have to break on the rails. She's coming off a 2-month freshman for Mark Reed. She doesn't go right to the front. She likes to stalk, sit about mid-pack. She might get a tough trip covered up in traffic early on. Might be a step short coming off the layoff. I use her in my top 4, but I like that win last out for the 3, Last Love, a maiden special weight win late March for this Not for Love filly. Comlo claimed her in her debut last November for $25,000. She was 58-1 that day.
Yeah.
He gives her a little time, brings her back in maiden special weight in 4 good races, and including a win last out at 10-1. Now she's eligible for this cozy starter allowance 2 life. Correa aboard the Bug Boy. So I think the 3, Last Love, finds a nice condition here for Bill Comlo.
Yeah, it's smart when you see some of these trainers, they just kind of drop them in for 25, sitting there and hoping, because you know you might got a horse a little bit better than that, and you come away, and then you come back and use this condition to your advantage. Yeah, was nursed along beautifully on the front end by Correa last time, got away with a softer quarter, and really didn't get set down to her upper stretch. The key for her is she going to be able to handle the pressure of this 4-horse Brenda's GLP if she breaks.
All right, so we both like the 3 and the 2. We both like the 5 for Claudio, Wicked Awesome. The 6 I use here. Yeah, this was an eye-opening debut win for the 6, St. Cherubin.
It was all you. You gave her out.
I had the horse picked in my top 4 because I remember Corby.
I think you had her on top.
I might have maybe on top or second. Corby did it a while back. It might have been longer than 5 years ago. He won with a 99-1 first-time starter, and he did it with St. Cherubin, only 10-1, but still a nice win price. Corby, hope you had a few bucks on this filly that you own. You're the part breeder as well. She's a 4-year-old by 40 Tails. Yeah, she was way better than that maiden 10. She won by she could have galloped for maiden 16 as well. The maiden 16s is about the same condition as the maiden 10s here. If you can win by 7 for maiden 10, you can win by 6 for maiden 16. She probably could have been right there for maiden 25. They've been going with 6 Swords Fields recently. So, but yeah, Corby later in, she galloped, and I think she's much better than that. Well, I mean, she looked pretty good. I think the 48 came back a little low. The 49 Buyer speed figure, only a 49. I was against Maiden 10, a big step up today, but I think she's up to the challenge.
I clearly think you saw what I saw visually through just watching it on the screen, or if you're outside, she looked much better than that number. She was real eager through the wire. She had plenty left going at it and got away with dropping her in for 10 first time out.
Yep, all right, so nice starter allowance there to kick off the late pick 4 in race 6. Let's speed along here.
Okay.
Race 7, one of our features of the day, a third level allowance condition, optional claiming 50,000. Filly and mares 3 and up. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the all-along turf course rail setting at 0, and a big late scratch here on the 9-5 morning line favored. The 2, Misericordia, is a late scratch. The 2 is out. So I end up on the 6, my top pick, Haley's Flip. Let's start there. Haley's Flip, making her. Well, she's run on the turf once, long time ago. Didn't run very well. Gary has her in here today, trying the turf one more time. Maybe he's thinking the race might come off the turf by then.
Yep.
So if it does come off the turf by then, we hope it doesn't. But there is some rain in the forecast. But if it does, I have her on top. But even if it doesn't, I leave her on top here. Gary going to try the turf here with Weston Hamilton on the 6, Haley's Flip, my top pick.
And I throw her in basically other protect move. I'm thinking at this time, if they're close with this rain coming in, that's why I threw her in. It's just, she's trying to sneak a win out. They're keeping tabs of us, Stan.
Right. Yep.
No. But Haley's Flip, I think, if it comes off, she's a major factor. Plenty of speed. She'll target and make a run right into the pace if it stays on. If we're on the turf, dare to be. Coming back fresh again, a layoff, long layoff. No worries for me for Rodney. This horse ran well last summer. Off of time, got going a little bit too late behind Goldwood, and we've seen what Goldwood has gone on to do. Stakes place behind Morticia down at Gulfstream. She makes the big run into it. If this race stays on the turf.
Yeah, she ran well at this level last year. Now she's a fresh and rested 6-year-old, ready to roll. She's had the winner off like most good turf trainers do with their horses. She's 7 for 11 in the money at Laurel on the grass. She's made over 100,000. Yeah, I can't knock her. I didn't get to her. I can't knock the 8, dare to be. She'll be a factor. The 9, out with the 9, uphill battle for Hugh McMahon. Katie Davis will ride his 6-year-old mare by Street Magician. Her one turf try, her last turf try last summer here at Laurel, and a stake race. She was a good third behind Al Chimura and Virginia Fable, who both came back to win out of that race. She had some trouble at the half-mile pole that day. That was a big effort on the turf for uphill battle last summer. Now she's fresh, ready to roll. She'll get a nice trip on the outside with Katie Davis.
Yeah, I think she's a presser either surface. I'm concerned, is she quite this good against this group, this quality group? Can she kind of finish? That's my biggest concern, because she wants to lay close. And there's some pretty quick horses in race number 7. Another one you might want to throw in either way or the other. Filibustin for Contessa, trying the turf for the first time if we stay on. Plenty of speed. Went to the 5. Went to the 8th pole up there in New York. But these Busted Stones can handle turf. It seems like they're only showing 12%. I've seen quite a few. I think Linda Albert's got one that's run well around here for big money. So the Shipper for Contessa, I think, is a forward factor. You're using the 1, Hammy from the rail, jumping a conditioner in that big race 2 races back. It looked like it might have knocked her out. I don't know where it came from. But her two turf races weren't awful behind horses that are stakes proven.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So, all right, nice 3 other than allowance feature of the day to kick off the final pick 3 in race 7. Let's turn the page here. Race 8 will kick off the late daily double. Let's go right to the video spotlight here for race 8. It's a nice first level allowance for filly and mares going a mile. Here's the video on Sarah's Treasure.
Yeah, assuming there's going to be moisture, we might see something like that by about 4:45 this afternoon. And Sarah's Treasure's gotten real good and a reclaim. Right, for Robin Graham, was able to dictate that day, draws outside. Looks like we're probably going to have moisture in the racetrack by that time. Not a slew of speed that she's going to have to worry about, but she'll rate as well, boy. She just kind of drug Katie Davis around the racetrack, around the turn. Once she responded, upper stretch, it was all over. I think we're going to see a repeat performance of that. Didn't disgrace herself at all up in New York.
All right, so yeah, I like her. I use her in my top 4. I go with McCarthy here at a price. Maybe it's Factor that into your line. Anytime I see McCarthy, it's just anytime you see him at 6-8-1, you have to jump all over it, right?
Clem Florio rule, absolutely. Leading rider, 6-8-1 or higher, you have to use.
Yep. All right. So I go with McCarthy here on the 4. Magically Discreet for trainer Tim Woolley. It's an honest filly here. Look, she hasn't been off the board since February of 2018. She hasn't been off the board, so she is very honest. A decent second last out against Starter Allowance Company. This is the first time McCarthy gets aboard. The 4 Magically Discreet. He might be able to step her up a little bit here. I have her on top.
Okay, I'm going to throw in the 1 Turing Machine. Potts wasn't scared, went in, grabbed off Claudio. Boom, big number. Yep. That was a loose leader. Yeah, they went quick through that second quarter, which might have helped things a little bit for Turing Machine. But that was a strong. Came right down the center track and rolled on past the win clear, beating Magically Discreet. I think this horse, she just has to hold form to get a piece of this.
All right, and the 5 Bellantonic, I use in my exacta for Dale Capuano. Dale keeps her at this allowance level. That's a confident move. She ran an okay 3rd last out, going 2 turns. Now she cuts back to a mile. She's a 2-time winner going a mile. Toledo won 3 in a row on this filly after Dale claimed her. Now Toledo back aboard. Yeah. I think the 5 could show up here for top connections.
And don't leave out Delacour. It's a horse that paid $585,000 for. I don't know if she's gonna make that back up. Maybe down the road, breeding, but pretty decent first try at Tampa. What about tonight? Got trouble with the break, closed in late. Charcolor had probably best in the long footnote. Should be able to stretch out. You're looking at some 1.25 mile races over there in Europe. That winner, What About Tonight, had a big 2018, kind of a key horse. And don't leave out the 7, hell of a fire. She likes Laurel. She brings one of her better races. Yep. She's also a part of this exacta.
Yep, so Tim Woolley with 2 live runners here in Race A. Let's get to the Stronach 5. Race 9 going to kick off that popular national wager, the Stronach 5, with that guaranteed $100,000 pool. It starts Laurel Park, race 9 today. Industry low, 12% takeout. They bet almost $200,000 into it last Friday. It paid over $2,200. We've had a bunch of big payouts in the Stronach 5 each and every week. Let's check out the lineup of races. Starts 5:09 Eastern time right here at Laurel race 9. Then we go to Gulfstream race 9. We stay at Gulfstream for race 10. Then out to Golden Gate Fields, race 5. We wrap it up Santa Anita Park, race 5. Let's check out my ticket. I have a $72 ticket. Tim Tulloch has a ticket as well. You can study both of our tickets on the laurelpark.com website underneath the handicapping section. Race 9 here at Laurel is a big field, maiden 25,000. Filly and mares going a mile on the Dahlia turf course, rail at 52 feet. I go 4 deep with the 2, 4, and 8, the 2, 4, 8, 10. Now the 2, 4, and the 10 are going to be your favorites. And then I go with the blow-up horse there, the 8 Broken Hobbles at 30-1. That's where you get a horse like that home on your ticket. That's when you get a $20,000, $30,000 payout. And this filly is by Seville, a Galileo sire. The Sevilles should like the turf. He was a turf horse himself. And this filly making her turf debut today for trainer Robin Graham. And you get the 7-pound bug boy Felix Pinero. He won with 2 long shots last week in here at Laurel. Tulloch calls him, you get the dinero with Pinero. So I go with the long shot, the 8 Broken Hobbles in this first leg of the Stronach 5. So 2, 4, 8, 10 in the first leg. Then Gulfstream race 9, I go with the 1, 2, 3. My singles Gulfstream race 10. Come on, Venezuela, number 4 with Edgar Zayas aboard. So a single on the 4 in leg C. Then we go to Golden Gate Fields. Nice mile turf starter allowance there. I go 3 deep, 6, 7, 8. And then Santa Anita, I go with the 4, 7. So $72 ticket. Let's check out this first leg of the Stronach 5. We're way over, but big field here in race 9. Maiden filly mare 25. 1 mile turf, Dahlia rail, 52 feet. I go with the 4 Barack coming off the layoff for trainer Eddie Graham. 4-year-old daughter, Street Cry, gets Vargas to ride. And she had a couple okay outings against Maiden Special Weight Company, going long on the turf back in 2017 when this filly was a 2-year-old. She ran some okay numbers against much better company back then. And then only 2 races since 2017, only 2 races last year as a 3-year-old. Now she's fresh and ready to go coming off the layoff. We know Eddie Graham can get one ready to go off the layoff. He won the Arlington Million a few years back. You get Vargas to take the call here on the 4 Barack.
Okay, this is on the turf. I like the 6-10 a Fleet Ferry. Debut back last summer was really, really good at 20-1. Behind, I believe that was a Delacour runner. Lunar Ryle beat a next out winner. Cape Lottie died of a mare. Stakes winning mare won over $300,000. If you can run well first time out, that's my angle. You come back off the layoff, little little drop in class off of that race as well. If this race goes to the dirt, I'm going to go 2-13, and is the 15 still in? Yeah, I'm sure Proctor might come in, but definitely Dickinson and the 13, Mary Epler with Miss Alafant. So, yeah, just kind of a little of adjustment there if possible. On the turf, I like the 6-10-2-4.
Well, it's a wide open field. How about my 30-1 shot here, the 8 Broken Hobbles if we stay on the turf? Seville filly making her turf debut at a big price.
Go get it, brother. Going to be a gazillion to 1. I think I'm going to have to give you $7.20. Take 10% of that ticket.
All right.
So I'll be out of all my money problems if that comes in.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. We're way over time here.
Right.
Dave Robin coming up next with scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.